Thank you very much. This is our weekly update to you and our constituents to let them know what is going on in Congress and to give you an update of the positions and the issues that are affecting every one of you every day. We have to talk, and we should talk about bin Laden. Let me first of all extend to the President and to the brave men and women our thanks for a job well done and a successful operation. We don't know the destruction that bin Laden gave to the whole world, the destruction and terror that he spread in the whole world. We'll never know. But the fact of the matter now is that he will not continue to do that. This is the end of a decades-long chapter. It is not the end of our war against terrorism and people that would harm us and organizations that would harm us, but it does close a chapter. And we hope with the closing of this chapter that the administration and Congress will seriously begin to consider bringing our troops back home from Afghanistan. We've closed an important chapter in the history of this nation. It is time that we begin to close that chapter permanently and begin to bring our troops back home who have made sacrifices after sacrifices for more than a decade. I also wanted to speak a little bit about the budget. The Republicans continue to talk about tough choices, shared sacrifice, and what we need to do in order to balance the budget and cut the deficit and get rid of the debt. Their plan is devastating. Their plan for balancing the budget does not balance the budget. It does not deal with ending the deficit. On the contrary, it perpetuates a system, a fiscal system and a fiscal policy that got us in the hole that we're in right now. We reinstate and make and even lower the taxes on the very rich. We give more breaks to corporations in this country in terms of taxes. We continue to subsidize big gas and big oil at a tremendous rate. We continue to give break on royalties for the extractions that they take from our very precious and valuable public lands. And who is paying for all this? It's middle America, it's working America, it's the old, and it's the people that cannot afford to pay. They will see their taxes rise. They will see their programs cut, like Medicare. The permanent dismantling of Medicare is on the agenda and part of the Ryan budget and the Republican budget. And they continue to perpetuate a system where we are blaming the people that need the help the most for the crisis that we're in. We proposed a people's budget, the Progressive Caucus, that balanced the budget by 2021, that created a surplus by 2021. And people now are beginning to pay more and more attention to that document. It was about job creation immediately. It was about ending corporate welfare and rich tax breaks for the very, very rich in this country. It was about real shared sacrifice, where corporate America paid its fair share of the cost that we all share in this country. And it also talked about a fairness in our tax code. We preserved Medicare. We didn't touch Social Security. We preserved Medicaid. We invested in education, and we invested in an immediate public works job creation. And where do we get the money? From taking it from areas that have benefited for the last decade, including cuts to defense and the eventual return of our troops from Afghanistan and Iraq. We can balance the budget. Our people's budget proved it. And now that major economists, noted economists across this country and organizations are endorsing our budget as courageous, as realistic, as fair, more and more people are paying attention to it. We're going to press the budget negotiators that are working in the administration and in Congress to include major portions of our budget as part of budget reduction and as a means to spare the cuts that are being proposed by the Republicans to necessary, vital, and critical domestic programs. Let me talk a little bit about gas prices. As you know, the cost at the pump continues to rise. Gas prices have once again risen to these unsustainable levels because the market is being manipulated. Our budget, the people's budget, ends taxpayer subsidies for oil drilling and creates a new tax on speculation in oil and other commodities to put money back in the hands of taxpayers. Goldman Sachs recently told its clients to sell their oil assets because they were overvalued due to speculations. Republicans say that unnamed regulations are strangling the oil industry. That's why the multi-billion-dollar companies have to charge American families more at the pump. The truth is that wealthy oil speculators are gaming the system for a profit, while BP, Shell, and their competitors all posted record profits boosted by public subsidies at taxpayers' expense. Our people's budget ends these tricks. The conservative House majority seems happy to put all the power in a few companies' hands, while everybody else pays the price. We can control the cost of oil, of gas at the pump, but we need to have here in Congress the guts to stand up to big oil, to stand up to these companies and say enough is enough. We'll look forward to working with you. We look forward to reporting to you our updates and letting you know what is going on in Congress. Our perspective, we believe, is a common sense perspective. Our perspective is a progressive perspective. And our perspective is to tell the truth. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. But if we are going to get out of the morass that we're in economically, we're going to have to be bold, and we're going to have to invite the American people in to help us. And that is what we're trying to do. Thank you so much.